Karl Popper redefined the fundamental question of political theory not as who should rule, a classical concern associated with Plato and later Marx, but as how to remove bad rulers without violence, emphasizing the prevention of tyranny over abstract notions of popular sovereignty. For Popper, democracy is not about the rule of the people in a literal sense, nor does it mean majority rule, which he considered impractical and potentially dangerous. Instead, democracy is a system of institutional checks and balances that allows for the peaceful removal of governments through mechanisms like periodic elections. This approach minimizes social suffering and avoids the need for revolution, which Popper viewed as inherently violent and prone to distortion by propaganda and utopian ideologies. Popper strongly opposed revolutionary change, particularly the kind inspired by historicist and holistic theories such as Marxism, which he critiqued in And the Poverty of Historicism. He argued that attempts to realize utopian visions through large-scale social engineering often lead to authoritarianism, as they require suppression of dissent and manipulation of truth to maintain ideological conformity. In contrast, he advocated for piecemeal social engineering, gradual testable reforms aimed at solving concrete social problems like poverty and disease, rather than pursuing abstract ideals of a good society. This method aligns with his philosophy of science, where knowledge grows through falsification and criticism, just as open societies progress through institutionalized critique and reform. Revolution, in Popper's view, fails because it assumes we can predict and control historical development, a belief he rejected as historicism. He pointed out that revolutions, even when motivated by noble aims, tend to justify violence and repression in the name of future ends, ultimately undermining freedom and truth. The English Revolution of 1648 to 49, for example, proclaimed the divine right of the people, but quickly devolved into the dictatorship of Oliver Cromwell, illustrating how revolutionary legitimacy can be abused. Popper saw liberal democracies, despite their imperfections, as practical solutions to the problem of misrule, not because they ensure wise leadership, but because they allow for error correction without bloodshed. He also criticized proportional representation for fostering unstable coalitions and preferred a two-party system, which he believed enables clearer accountability and more effective self-criticism after electoral defeats. While supportive of economic intervention to protect the weak from the strong, Popper warned against excessive state power, advocating reforms that preserve democratic oversight and individual freedom. Ultimately, his vision of democracy is rooted in a fallibilist political epistemology. Since rulers and policies are bound to err, institutions must be designed to permit peaceful correction rather than revolutionary overthrow.